righty, Ozzo, welcome back to Live in 5, folks. We've been off for the last couple of weeks, but we are buzzing better than ever. Again, still not available on Spotify, still not available on Apple. It's been a nightmare. We'll get to that in a little bit here, but I don't want to take away anything we have for our guests coming on today. We'll preview that. Christian Wolanin, a.k.a. Christian Wolanin, episode number 94, Ozzo. Great chat with Calder Cup champion, national champion, and just an all-around good kid. Great to have him on the program. You obviously won a national championship with him at UND. But Wolly, man, always in good spirits he is, isn't he?
He is, dude. He's just a good dude. He's got a good outlook on life. Yeah, man, ever since he was a freshman at North Dakota, like right when he came in, I knew I was going to be boys with him, man. He's just a chill dude. And he can still skate. Like, he can still skate and walk the blue line, eh? When you watch him out there, he's flying still.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that the jersey is always flapping in the wind, especially when he gets going and he rounds that net and he has a little bit of space. He's a one-man breakout. You know, when he goes back for that puck, that he's going to come out with it. And especially when he's got a little time, he's going to shake the first guy. He's going to make the second guy miss or second guess himself. Then all of a sudden, he's either headman in the puck or he's leading the rush himself. I mean, the guy won an AHL Eddie Shore Award, which is the D-Man of the Year. And he's always been one of those guys that kind of similar to myself, Ozzo, where he's offensive. He's a great skater. Coaches, a lot of times with those guys, you become an in-betweener. And he's the guy that can easily play. I mean, he's played 86 games, but I don't think he's ever really gotten a full season to show what he's got, and you become a tweener. Yeah. So now a coach is telling you, like me, similar to my day, where, all right, you got to play a little tougher. It's like, okay, yeah, I can play that. But then you're going to give me 10 minutes, and you're going to be like, why aren't you moving the puck? Why aren't you up in the play? Well, dude, I'm on the bench for 50 minutes of this game. How do you want me to impact it? And then I'm not playing on the power play. So your role gets really confusing pretty quickly. And as you know, Ozzo, the NHL is all just niche based. So he's one of those guys that can play. He's one of those guys that can still snap it. It's just really hard to find your way, especially when you don't really get a runway to do it.
Well, yeah, it is. He's kind of like a left-handed version of you, Jordan. And it's like, you almost, the team, like a position like that, you almost need to pop in on first pair and first PP, or else you're buried playing. They got you playing power, penalty kill, and playing against, some third pair minutes, which is like, I don't know. Hockey's just such a crazy sport, because I look at a guy like Wolly right now, and nothing against some of these NHL defensemen, Jordan, but to me, he's a better hockey player than a lot of these defensemen that are playing at 100%. Like, it's just so weird to say like those guys are NHLers and this guy is in the minor leagues. And this guy in the minor leagues is better. It's just weird. It's such a weird.
Yeah, I mean, look, NHL obviously is the NHL, but it's sometimes the best players are left out of the league for different reasons, right? Whether it's off ice habits or it's finding a role, and I think it's really hard just for, especially a puck moving defenseman, to accept 10 minutes a night, especially at the NHL level, and then try to feel good about the game you're bringing, Ozzo. Like, I know from experience, when you play 10 minutes, you're just thinking, don't get scored on. Don't try to do anything out of the ordinary, where it's like, that's not my game at all. My game is actually probably make a couple of mistakes, but I'm going to get you offense. I'm going to get you scoring chances. I'm going to create. We're going to have a lot of possession, but you got to live with maybe the mistake I might make defensively. But in a third pair role, you can't do that, because then you're out of the lineup the next day. Oh, yeah, you missed this box out. It had nothing to do with the play, but you missed the box out. So we got to go with this guy.
I know.
It's like, fuck you.
Yeah. Didn't matter in the game, but we rewatched the video. We slowed it down a few times, press pause, rewind. And it was actually, your stick was in the wrong position, so we got to slot this guy in.
Right. It could have resulted in a goal. Well, yeah, no shit. Also, 200 plays out there could have, but it fucking didn't. And if it does, well, okay, well, I'll go make up for it.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Quinn Hughes is out there. I mean, he just turned over. Quinn Hughes just turned over 6 pucks in a row. Man, right. He didn't miss a single shit. You know, like how easy would it be to have that leash though? And that's what you got to work to. You know, it's all part of the game, I guess. But
yeah, it is, and that's the hardest part is just figuring out a way to stay and then earn that trust. But yeah, he's a great kid. It was a great chat with him, Azo. Obviously, we've been off for the last couple of weeks, and I just want to address the issue we're having on Spotify and Apple. I'm going to try to get that resolved this week, but dude, the customer service at Spotify has been awful. Like, I'm emailing this guy who's on the escalations team about our account being shut down because of one minuscule copyright issue from episode 7 with Brad Elliott Schlossman in regarding just a song that someone filed against us. I forget the song. I don't even know the song because it just pisses me off so much. I don't even want to look. But I've been exchanging emails with this dude at their escalation team, and he's basically like, he keeps going back, did you submit your application to be reinstated? I'm like, yeah, but we haven't heard back in 3 weeks. And he just keeps referring to that. So I don't know what's going on. And because our Spotify is linked to our Apple through Buzzsprouts, we're not able to post on Apple. So right now we're getting killed with one stone and 2 birds are going down. But
brutal.
We are available on YouTube, and this is where people are going to see this, obviously. But yeah, I just wanted to give an update. I don't want to dwell on it too much. Hopefully we'll have a resolution soon. But yeah, man, it's been a shit show. I've never heard of being shut down, completely terminated off a platform because of one copyright issue. I mean, like, I've emailed this guy. I've told him we'll gladly take the episode down, but we physically can't get into our account. And it's like I'm talking to an AI robot or some kid from Gen Z. It's just he's giving me just the most generic answer. I'm like, is this some dude in India, or is this actually Jonathan sitting at his place in Toledo trying to help me out? Because I don't think it is.
It's got to be an AI agent. And yeah, I can't believe, I mean, episode 6, and how long is the song playing? It's probably playing like 20 seconds.
Probably the intro like we used to do, and we stopped doing that because we didn't want to run into a copyright issue. Now, we got flagged from someone that apparently owns the rights to this song, and that's the holdup. But again, I've emailed, they've told me to reach out to the people that have flagged it. So I've emailed them. They haven't responded. I've emailed them like 3 times, maybe 4. And then this guy at the escalations team just keeps rebooting me to or referring me back to this application or appeal that I have to file. So yeah, it's been a nightmare, and that's just show business. But again, we are available on YouTube, and it's not so bad. You can see our chins on YouTube. You can hang out with us. Again, we're working towards getting this fixed, but for now, we are only available on YouTube. But that's how it goes, Azo.
I wanted to listen to Schultzy's mug on my drive.
I know. Yeah, that guy is hilarious. He actually just he shot me a message today. He was back on the mic over at the home talent game. He was telling me that they were playing the team in Belleville, which is just a town right next to Verona. It's a little bit more out in the sticks. It's a little smaller. And they last year, dates back to some bad blood. Last year they had a bench clearing brawl in a playoff game for home talent. And I guess 3 or 4 guys on the Verona team got ejected. So he was all fired up for that. It was like 8 a.m. And I'm just getting a voice note from this fucking beauty talking about, hey, Mott, say hi to Azo for me, but just heading over to the park. I'm actually back on the mic today. We got Belleville coming to town. And then, you know, the guy that I was talking about, Drew Hack, who he always announces, even though he's on the other team, like he announces him for the away team, Hack. So Drew Hack, apparently he joined up the Belleville forces. So now he's playing for Belleville. He got traded or signed on waivers. So now Hacker's playing for Belleville. So he was all fired up for Drew Hack to be in town. So, man, I got a kick. But apparently they won 12-1, and they hit a walk-off grand slam, but it was 12-1. And I go, what do you mean, Schultz? Like, what do you mean a walk-off grand slam? He said Belleville decided after Verona hit the grand slam in like the 6th inning that they were just done. Like, their season was just done. In the middle of the 6th, they're down 12-1. So they packed their shit and left.
It's a walk-off grand slam.
Oh, yeah.
12-1. It's so nails.
It's so good. But yeah, so man, he's such a fucking beauty, that guy. You know how many messages I've got from people that are just like, you need that guy on almost
Oh
weekly
yeah,
because he's such a legend.
yeah.
Man,
He's so funny. He'd be so good at radio.
yeah, like his thing is I don't know if he's figured out FaceTime yet. I'm sure he has, but his thing is he'll just record a message on Snapchat, like a video, but it's him just talking for like 3 minutes straight, and he's having a conversation with me, but it's just through Snapchat. So he's mid dart game, and he's talking to me on Snapchat. So I'll open it the next morning, and I'm like, this fucking beauty, Moss, this one's for you, and then I'll just like go on about some random memory, and then yeah, it's just awesome. So he's the best. That's my guy. Shout out to Schultz. We had him on a couple of weeks ago, but yeah, man, he's a character. I hope you get to meet him in person someday, because you would.
I know
What you think he is, he's everything and more, dude. Like, this guy is actually a legend.
Oh yeah, I know. I can only imagine meeting him in person. It would kind of like, when you go to the mountains and you take a picture of it and you
Yep.
show someone the picture of the mountains, and it's like, oh, that's cool, but it's way better in person. This guy's like the mountains.
Oh.
Like, you just got to be with him around. I want to be around him and just have a beer with him.
Yeah. Well, one of these years when UND goes back to Wisconsin, they play him, and he's still going to be working at Avanti's in Verona. He'll probably be like the 6 or 7 time Dane County Bartender of the Year. So we'll do it proper. We'll go into Verona. We'll go on Main Street, and we'll go sit down at Avanti, and we'll have him pour us a cold one and make us whatever he's got that night.
It'd be so good.
Oh yeah. So yeah,
real night.
Oh yeah, it would be a legendary night. But Azo, we've been off for I think 2 weeks now. What have you been up to, fella? I know you're in Forks right now, but is there anything you're finally through wedding season? You were in Napa for Troy Stetcher's wedding. Congrats,
wedding.
Stetcher.
Yep.
So how are we feeling? How's the body? How was Napa? How was Uncle Rico? Because I had him the weekend before, and I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, no, dude. I feel like I'm. It's actually funny we're having Wolly on because he just got done with it felt like a 10-month season.
Yep.
I feel like I just got done with a 10-month hockey season, going through that wedding gauntlet, and I don't know. I feel like I'm in the off season right now. I'm spirits are high. I'm feeling good. I get to spend a weekend at home where like kind of just chilled and like did what I wanted. But yeah, Stetcher's was great. Dusky and I, it was like a celebrity wedding, fucking out in these wineries, and unbelievable landscape, really, really sick venue, good drink, good food. Dusky and I may have taken a little too far on the wedding night, but overall a great time. We go see that it was my first time crossing that Bay Bridge in San Francisco.
Golden Gate.
How the fuck did they build that thing, dude?
Did you walk across it?
Oh, we drove across it, and then we hiked to the spot like that overlooked it, and I can't understand how someone built that back in 1918 or 30 or something.
Dude, I remember walking across that, and I don't like heights as is, and I thought I was gonna have a jammer, man. Like, I couldn't look out. I had to look at my feet the whole time.
Yeah.
It's that scary. Like, you're that high up there.
You're high up. Like, if you jump off that thing, like, you're dead.
That was what I was thinking the whole time. Like, if somehow I have an out of body experience and I go down or jump off this thing, I'm dead. And then even looking at Alcatraz, you're looking at that and you're like, how did those guys swim across? Like, especially with that tide, the amount of sharks around. I've been boots on the ground on the prison, and even looking out just to the bay and to San Fran there, the chin of it, it makes no sense that guys actually made it across. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a mile or whatever it is, but I just feel like the panic would set in for me. And I mean, I guess if your life is on the line, you could maybe stay in
the pitch.
Are the convicts that good of swimmers in the pitch black?
Yeah, and the pitch black makes it a little different too. Like,
right.
But at the same, like, I mean, if I'm in prison, you got to think if you're in prison for life, Jordan, like you're not scared to get eaten by a shark. I mean, if you get eaten by a
Yeah,
shark or you die, so you do have that little extra, like, I don't give a fuck if I die here because I'm already dead in
sure.
that prison. So that's their only chance, and it's salt water, so you're like floating a little bit, but still, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, yeah, I just don't know. Like, would you rather, I'm going to put this on the spot for you here. So, would you rather try to swim across leaving Alcatraz, or would you rather crawl through a tunnel of shit for like up 2 miles, like Andy Dufresne leaving Shawshank? Like, what would freak you out more? The tunnel would scare me more because I'm claustrophobic. So
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
think if I just die in the middle of this water, a shark eats me like it's meant to be, dude. I think there would be nothing scarier than a dark tunnel full of shit that I don't know when it ends. Like when I'm out of this thing, I would fear I don't make it through.
I know we're gonna get. I've been seeing those clips of these guys who go cave diving, and they're fucking crawling through these like tunnels in the rocks, and some of them get stuck and die. It's like,
Yep.
what are you doing crawling through a fucking little slip in a rock? Why are you crawling through these places anyways? I don't get it. I would pick the. I'm not crawling through that tunnel.
No.
That tunnel, no chance. Like it's tight in there. It depends on how big it is, but if it was tight and you're like, there's a chance you could get stuck. I'm picking the swim for sure. But yeah, I mean, even when Jordo, you think about that swim from Alcatraz, you think about that swim, that's tough for someone who's training swimming.
Oh yeah.
Like what happens if you're in prison, you haven't swam in 3 years. How are you making it across?
Well, that's just it. Like you're a criminal, a convict. Now, these guys aren't exactly, Michael Phelps or triathlon specialists where they can just hop in a body of water and swim. I don't know, man. I think it would come down to the mentality. Like I just got to fucking make it. And if you don't panic in the water, you could probably kind of try to ride the current. Hopefully you get lucky a little bit that it's blowing down fan and you're kind of blowing into the bay a little bit. But yeah, I'd take my chances with swimming versus crawling through a bunch of shit. I'm not going. I don't know if I could ever go full Dufresne. But at the same time, Azo, we're not in prison, so that's just. I think that mentality. I mean, it's what's the other option, right? So you're in complete fight or flight, and it's like fuck fight or hold the light.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking go here. Like I don't know. Like we're just a couple
Yeah.
assholes on a couch. Like we got it pretty good outside the walls. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Those cells in there, too. I don't know if you've been there. It's nuts. Like they were so small, 2 guys in there.
Like just tiny.
Oh, like man.
Did you get to stand in one of them? Did they close the door on you? Like,
yeah.
like
I mean,
feel.
yeah. I mean, like if you have an average size wrench, you could just probably whirly bird it across. It's like fucking 6 inches. Like there's not a lot of space. There's not a lot of space. It's fucking pretty crazy. Yeah, it was wild to see, but yeah, it's man, just segueing a little bit. I got to talk to you about this. So I was in Toronto this past week. I've been living off of a suitcase for it seems like 2 months. I finally got home yesterday. I'm like, dude, I looked at my own chin in the mirror. I'm like, all right, you got to stop traveling here for a month and just be in an AZ. I know it's 116 up, but my body can't physically do it. Like I looked at my suitcase and I was looking at my Gitch, and I've had this Lamar Odom jersey in my suitcase for 4 weeks. I've rewashed all this stuff 4 times. I'm like, I need to chill for a bit, man. Like ever since your wedding, or ever actually since the baseball trip, I've been on a runner. Like it was baseball trip, similar to you with weddings, but it was like baseball trip, and then it was into the golf trip, and then I was in Edmonton, and then I took a week off and I went to your wedding, and then it was Boston, 4th of July. It was Morgan Wallen, then Boston, then Vegas, then Madison, then Chicago, then Toronto. I'm like, I just got to chill. But I was thinking it was an absolute runner. And I've just been living out of a suitcase, and it sucks when you're not in your own bed. But the one thing I did do when I was in TO visiting JB Snow, aka Binner, was I went to a Rufus Du Sol concert. and I don't know how much Rufus you listen to. I listen to a decent amount. I don't know all their songs.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize the fucking guy sings. They play instruments. I thought it was just like Avicii where he would bring on someone else and they'd sing, or Calvin Harris where you just make the beat. No, these dudes are actual musicians, Azo. They're so good. I was like, this guy's voice is fucking elite. Tyrone, his name is White Boy. Yeah, it was awesome. Like I was looking after that show ended. I was like, I need to look where they're going next. I got to see these guys again. It was that good. It was, wow. Yeah, and we were in the pit too. So that's the way to do it. And the pits these days, they're not as crazy. And the thing I liked about Rufus is there are people that like house music, but it's not like the deep house heads where they're fucking snorting.
That's what you want to find. Yeah. You don't want to go to that crazy electronic shit. It's like Rufus is who you want to see.
Yeah, I don't know a ton about house and electric music. I've never really been to a festival. I went to a Tomorrowland, but I felt like it was like the high class house music people where they're not looking to butt heads, smash each other, sweat a ton, and just be all mollied out. Like they're on Molly, but they're chill. You know, that like, it felt like it was like a higher class of house music people. I don't know if that's an accurate scout, but that's just what it felt like. It didn't feel like it was like the people in the trenches looking to get pressed up against the rail and like trampled on. Like it wasn't that feel at all.
Yeah. No, that's a good feel. I gotta get to one of those though. I love Rufus's music. I've never seen him live. I didn't know he was out there playing instruments and shit. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, they're on the keys. Like Inner Bloom came on. It's a 9-minute song. They had the one dude was on the keys the whole time. Guys playing guitar. Then this lead singer Tyrone absolutely belting it. Inner Bloom's a 9-minute song. It ended. I was so sad. I was like, can you play that again, fella? Fuck.
Yeah,
you're absolutely ripping it. Yeah, man.
So were they playing like the real songs, Jordan, or were they mixing them up? Like, you know how when you go see house music, like for example, I go see Louis the Child. I like his music, like coming through my speakers when I'm playing on my Bluetooth off my Apple Music. But then I go to his concert and it's like more intense, more like, you know, hard drops, techno drops, like throughout the concert. It's not even actually the real song. It's like, fuck, man, I kind of just wish you were playing the normal song, not this like hardcore techno shit. So was it the songs or was he like kind of remixing them up a little bit?
Yeah, so you're saying basically that kind of to get more like the beat into it and people like on their feet. No, it wasn't like that at all. It was just their song. That's what I liked because it kept the pit chill. Like people were just bobbing and shaking. It wasn't like fucking, you know, just head bobbing and fist pumping like your Paulie D on the Jersey Shore. No, it wasn't like that at all. It was like I said, it was like a classy way to do electronic music, but they're also playing their instruments and singing at the same time, which was really cool. And all the lights, obviously, and the show. And yeah, I mean, people were high on mushrooms, but that's just a Wednesday in Toronto. Like it's Rufus. You gotta do what you can. But yeah, I would love to see those guys again. It was awesome. So I just wanted to shout that out. And what a city that is, brother. I think that's a golf trip necessity.
Yeah.
One of these years. I really do. I think there's a ton of ways you can do it, but the golf is unreal. The weather is so good. The restaurants are great. And whether you want to do bars, clubs, or just whatever, stay at the house, I just think it's such a good city. And it sucks that it's in Canada because where Canada's at. But fuck, if we could just take Toronto and just kind of revive it a little bit, that's cities. It's awesome, Azo. It really is.
Chuck Barkley's favorite city in the world says it's the best city in the world.
And
he's probably been to a lot of them. Probably most of the cool ones. So, yeah, that's pretty high praise from Chuck there. And I know I've always wanted to get there. It's fun for, obviously, us hockey guys to go to a city like Toronto where, you know, you can everyone kind of understands the game of hockey and you get looked at as cool if you are a hockey player in Canada, whereas, you know, you're in Tampa Bay and people are like, oh, you play hockey? That's the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But, Jodo, I wanted to ask you I actually got two questions for you. One, how is the 26-mile walk in a day? Without training, that's pretty insane. We haven't talked about that. And then I kind of got a next question for you. I don't want to interview you, but how are you keeping your energy up on these trips? You know, like your social battery, your energy when you're on the road. It's got to be a little bit of workout too, because I know you're not doing like you're not an Adderall guy, you know. So
No,
how are you
drug
keeping the
free.
energy up?
So let's talk about the 51K step day, 26.3, which is a marathon I walked. So this day started off, and I'll try to not bore you here, but I want to paint the picture. So I wake up about 8, nothing crazy. I woke up at 7. I woke up at 7 that day. I ripped a Home by 3 show, and it was about 8:30, Azo. And I go down to the hotel lobby where I'm staying. And I'm staying in the West Loop, right in Chicago, about 3 blocks away from where my sister lives. So I get a coffee, and I start stepping on Randolph, and I start walking east. And I walk all the way to Navy Pier from the West Loop, right along the river. It's an unbelievable walk. If people haven't done it that are unfamiliar with Chicago, next time you're in Chicago, if you ever are, walk on the river. And if you're staying in the West Loop, just walk east on Randolph, and you'll connect right under the L, right onto the river, and you can ride that all the way to Navy Pier. So that's what I did. That's about a 2.3-mile walk all in to the chin of Navy Pier. And Azo, I wanted to cruise down Lakeshore Drive, so I just headed north, right on North Beach there, right on the bike path or the Strand, and I just started walking. Like Forrest Gump that day he woke up, I didn't have a plan. I just started running. And you know when you got the AirPods in and you're making some business calls and things are going well and you're looking at Lake Michigan that looks like an ocean, and you see all just the energy of the city, and you see the boats, and you see just the buzz of the city, you get energy from that. So I just started walking, man. I walked 10 miles straight north. I got up almost to Evanston, which is no joke. I mean, I walked past Wrigleyville. I was cruising just right on the Strand there, and I was looking at the city. I'm like, fuck, this is unbelievable. So that was probably my first 20,000 steps. Okay, so now I got to get home. I'm like, okay, well, it took me 20 to get here. Now I got to walk 20 back to the West Loop. So I start walking back, but again, I'm just vibing. I'm getting energy, and I get to about 40,000 all in once I get back, and I meet my sister for a burger at Al Cheval. So I'm at 40,000. We go for dinner, and we're going to go to the Cubs game. So we hit up Al Cheval. We grab a burger. It was my first meal of the day. I ate a triple burger there, which I would say is about, I'm not kidding, these burgers are big. And they're about, I would say it was about 2.5 pounds of meat, maybe 2, but a lot of meat. I ate that thing in under 3 minutes, and I actually thought I was taking my time. I said, hey, Keeps, tie me on this. And it's not to just set a record here, Joey Chestnut style. I want to ultimately see, I was fending myself off from the burger, and I ate it under 3 minutes. And this is, at least 2 pounds of ground chuck with bacon on it, a couple fries right to my chin under 3 minutes. So I mucked that, and I'm like, wow, I'm getting more energy. So we go to the Cubs game, Uber there, obviously, and my legs are starting to cramp up. I'm like, ooh, fuck. Legs are hurting. I'm at 40,000 steps. First 20 were easy. The last 20, I could feel like my hamstrings were getting tight. My IT bands, everything was starting to lock up a little bit, and my feet were really starting to hurt because I didn't have like a Hoke on, or I've been on the road. I just got this kind of this lifestyle ASIC on. So we go to the game, and I'm telling her the whole time, I'm like, well, let's go to Armitage, which is a great spot in Lincoln Park after the game, but we got to walk because I need 50,000 steps. She's like, all right, sure. So it's about a 2-mile walk. We get to Armitage after the game, and I check my phone. I'm at like 47,000 or 48,000. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that was only 7,500 steps. Like, how the fuck is that? Usually 2 miles or 2.3, that's 10,000. Like, how did that not register? So I'm like, Jesus Christ. So we eat there, have a great meal. It's about 11 o'clock, and I drop her off in the Uber from Lincoln Park to the West Loop. I walk from her place to the hotel I'm staying at, Hotel Emily, which is probably another 1,000 to 2,000 steps. So I check my phone. I'm at 47. Check my phone. I'm at 48 and a hook. I'm like, oh, fuck off. So it's like 10:58. What do? I go up to the fucking front desk. I say, what time's the gym open till, fella? He goes, it's 24 hours. I go, perfect. Go down, get on the treadmill. I walk out the last 2,000 steps. I get to 50 and I say, fuck that. I got to get over 50. I got to complete the marathon at 26.3 miles. I get off and oh my God, Ozzo, when I woke up the next day, I was like, Jesus Christ. I was texting everyone I knew. I said, do you think it's harder to walk or run a marathon? And everyone's like, you're retarded, man. Like, it's obviously harder to run. But I said, I don't know, man. I mean, my clip was, I was averaging 3.9 miles an hour, which is pretty good pace for the whole time, 26.3. And also, my Achilles on my left side is still hurting from it. So to answer your question,
oh yeah,
I have Achilles tendonitis from the walk, but you didn't hear it from me. It was a hell of a time. It was one of the best days I've had. And that day gave me so much energy. And yeah, I was tired the next day. Like my legs, like fucking, they hurt. Yeah, they hurt. But dude, I'm telling you, I don't know. Something about the thoughts and the just, it clears your mind. Really does. So
yeah.
that's, and to answer your question, how do I recharge my social battery? I do days like that. I honestly, because I talk so much as is, just for what I do, is I like that I've implemented a lot more solo days. I really have. Like in Toronto, JB had a golf outing on Thursday, and then he flew to Quebec for a wedding. I was just vibing out by myself, dude. I was walking around. I was doing different. So I think that's, to answer your question, I have a lot more solo days now where I just kind of don't have to talk, and it recharges me. And I don't really, I mean, I drink, but I keep it selective. I like to do it only strictly if it's like an event or a wedding or you know, seeing an old buddy. But yeah, I think that's how I do it, Ozzo. Long story short is I like to have a lot of solo days. And I don't know if that, I was asking someone, is that weird to do? Like on Friday, I went to the Blue Jays game by myself. I went to dinner by myself. I was loving it. I was, you know, I met a couple fans. One of the police guys working the game flagged me down after. He's like, Peoples? He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, are you a fucking cop? Are you going to shoot me? So I started a murder rumor. What's going on? But yeah, I would say that, Ozzo. I think I vibe out by myself. And then when I know I have to ramp it up, I save my energy versus before playing. I think you always wanted to be around the guys because especially after a win or something, because a lot of times you're a little too serious around the rink. I find a lot of guys, I wasn't, you weren't really, but a lot of guys are. And then you don't really get to meet your teammates. No. Right?
No.
So
you don't. Yeah, no, I wanted to ask because, you know, everyone's, I mean, I just got through that wedding gauntlet, right? And it's always like, you know, I just feel like and you know, I was at a proposal where I knew a lot of older people I haven't seen in a while. And then I was just that same weekend, Jordo, I went to a fucking baby shower for my brother and his wife, and talking to those people. And then, you know, there's just so many social events, and they're draining, you know, and
oh, yeah.
you're doing them all the time. And part of what I'm always thinking is like, how can I get better at these things? You know, like, how can I get more energy coming in? Like, why can't I truly have fun at these things? Because I'm always like, feel like I'm battling to find energy to like talk about something. And also like just to teach it, because like, I feel like a lot of people battle with not having enough energy. And I'm just like, I want to tell them like, dude, you gotta start fucking working out and eating healthy or something. Like you should have energy. You shouldn't just be walking around fucking tired all day.
100%, man. And I always like, I try to view it, and I don't know anything. I'm not Gary Brecka here, but say I have a 2-day, 3-day stretch of a lot of talking, or a live show where it really just, it's like a playoff game. It sucks a ton out of you and you're just drained afterwards. I try to give myself a day just to regroup and kind of vibe out by myself and kind of let the creative juices come back. And I texted you, I said, man, this walk I did, I know 51,000 steps is a lot, but just the thoughts that were coming to my head. I mean, I recommend long walks to anyone. I don't know the science behind it. Again, I'm not Brecka, I'm not Drew Huberman. I'm a fucking guy wearing a Cleveland Indians hat, and I like to wear it to the side. So take that with a grain of salt. But whatever walking does for me, I encourage everyone to walk. I swear, man, and I was reading too, like Albert Einstein, A lot of guys that are smarter than us, Steve Jobs, all their best thoughts and their ideas and their calls, they all came from when they were walking. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. Motion is lotion, but I don't know what it is.
I think there is some science to that. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think there is science to just getting up and because I've heard, there's a bunch of people that kind of recommend if you're, you're at work, you're at your desk, like working on your computer, and you kind of come to a standstill, and you can't think of anything, or you're not as like productive. Yeah. You're supposed to get up and do something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like, think about how many. I don't want to cut you up, but think about how many times you've been, especially even with business and being an entrepreneur, and I'm a creative, I guess, on paper, or an artist, whatever. Think about how many times you get stuck just sitting there. That's when I think people should be encouraged to move. But if you're working in a corporate office, you're bottled up into that cubicle or that space, and now you're thinking about different things of how annoyed you are sitting here and you're stuck. Where if you just went and walked, man, or walked around the block, just got out of the office, or got some sunlight in your face, I think that would help so much. It helps me. I don't know if it helps other people, and that's what I was telling you. I was like, next time you have like a chance just to walk or so, or even how good do you feel when you're rollerblading? Just fucking shades on, like
unreal.
Think about how many thoughts and just different shit. It's all positive. Yeah. It's coming to your mind, and you're just rollerblading like that. How you feel so good.
Oh, you feel so good. And that's so funny you mentioned it. Your thoughts are just positive. You're not really thinking about the scary thoughts. Thinking about, you're optimistic. You're like, this is a good idea. I'm going to do this.
It's going to work out.
That's a good point. That's funny. Yeah. No, you mentioned, alone time. That's unreal. I just had one last night. Gabby went out with the girls. I had a Saturday night pretty much to myself. Went in the sauna, fucking just hung out, looked up stuff, like, I don't know, did a bunch of stuff, felt productive. It was great. It was great for the mind.
Yeah, and as we're staying on our Brecka segment over here, no free ads, but the sauna too, the demon locker, I call it. I've always called it the demon locker. You come out of that, your stress level is just lowered instantly. And you know what? You actually think slower. And when you think slower, the less thoughts you obviously have. And it's almost like it puts you into a state of just reading and reacting versus thinking before you're doing something. I don't know. Sauna is another great teacher. Sauna and walking. Man, should we be life coaches over here? Fuck. What are they paying? They're paying. And we're a guy with Kid Rock shirt in Magic City. Come on.
The way I'm seeing it, Jordan, I think a lot of people could use some life coaches,
Yeah, 100%.
There's some demand out there.
We'd be like fucking John Beckwith, and we'd be like Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson, and sitting down a couple divorcees, who wants the air miles, right?
Yeah.
That's what we would be, but yeah, man. No, I like it, dude. I think it's good. It's good to be back on the airwaves. I'm going to do the People's Insider Term of the Week because we've been a minute. People want it. So here it is, folks.
Yeah.
The People's Insider Term of the Week. And this week's People's Insider Term of the Week is swallowed an airbag. Now, stay with me here because it's a legit term. It's not a word. And when you use this term, well, it's usually in reference to chirping another individual. We're not fat shaming over here at Live and Five, but sometimes you got to call a spade a spade. Now, you line up next to a guy. Maybe you haven't seen one of your buddies in a while, and you're on that level where one of these chirps might just work, right? You probably don't go up to a random person and say this, but it's one of your good buddies. You haven't seen him in a couple of years. Maybe he's recently retired from the sport of hockey, or maybe you know what? He's just eating a little too much, not doing Ozempic. And you look at him, you go, holy fuck, fella. You swallow an airbag? And what that means is usually his barrel has blown up to a point where he kind of starts looking like the Michelin Man. There's a car tire around that barrel, that midsection, and he's just puffy, right? Like I remember one time I was playing against a guy in the American League, and he had just got signed on a PTO. He had missed the first part of the season. This is a guy that put on probably 30 pounds. And I line up next to him, and I go, holy fuck. You swallow an airbag, fella? And he's like, what? I'm like, Jesus, you're looking big. Looks like you haven't been working out. Hey, the short fork's over there. So that is this week's People's Insider term of the week is swallowed an airbag. It's a great chirp, and it's one of those where guys might not get right away, but when they get it, it's just a zinger. It's like, ooh, zing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Give that. That's going to be great for the boys still playing to use that one.
Yep.
To a fat guy on the other team, you know, you
Yep.
got to make fun of those guys. They get chirped all game. I don't understand how they don't lose weight because they're getting chirped every game, Jordan. Every fat guy in hockey, he's getting just beaked by every bench.
Yep. And the best fat guy comment ever back was when the big rig was playing, and the big rig actually slimmed down throughout his years, but he was when he was in St. Louis and someone called him fat. And he was whatever, you know, he can eat those chirps. He's fucking 3-time maroon, but he's like, yeah, I might be fat, but I'm, what did he say? He said chubby, but effective. That's a great, one back. Yeah. I'm chubby, but I'm effective. Yeah, you are, Big Rick. You're a great player. So that's our boy Patty, how he handled it. But yeah, that always, if I was a fat dude and I got that, I was like, ooh, yeah, that one stings a little bit. Yeah, I did swallow an airbag or two. I got to lay off the Old Country buffet and the Cracker Barrel for the next couple of weeks. But also, that was Live in 5 Epi 94 pre-show. We have Calder Cup champion Christian Wolanin coming up next year, former teammate, UND Sioux, always a Sioux. And, you know, just an all-around good dude. So tape to tape with UCAP. We'll be back later in the week on the airwaves again. Go check us out on our YouTube page, folks, Live in 5. Go like that, subscribe, as well as comment. And again, we're going to have another interview later in the week, but enjoy this one. Azo, always tape to tape with UCAP. Low and slow, chin tucked. That is Live in 5, episode 94. Woo!
We are rolling, baby. Hey, Wolly, you just finished like 2 days ago, man. I was going to say, you still got your hockey gear on or what? What's going on, man?
Dude, the first thing I did when I'm living in LA this summer, I texted Trevor Moore. I don't know if you guys know him. And I was like, hey, you're going to be at skate tomorrow? And he just texted me back. He's like, yeah, but you're not coming. I was like, why not? He's like, your season just ended. Are you kidding me? But dude, like, like, you know how it is these days with social media. You know everybody else is training. So, like, I'm getting nervous. You know, I don't have a job, but I'm still like, I got to get out there and start working again.
Oh, that's the worst thing because you just finished literally like a month ago. It seems like it's probably like 5 weeks. But I was actually with your teammate over the weekend or this past week, Phil DiGiuseppe, good dude. So we went to that Rufus Du Sol concert, and he was saying the same thing. He's like, man, when do I start skating? Because all these guys at the gym, I mean, if you didn't play in the playoffs, like you're ramping up 3 or 4 times a week on the sheet. You're in the gym, obviously, every day. Isn't that the worst when you start to get those jitters? Like you literally just finished and you're like, fuck, like, do I have to get on the ice? Because you get nervous that other guys are skating and you're not.
Yeah, it almost wishes you were in an era a couple years ago, you know, before social media, where you didn't know what everybody else was doing. You kind of showed up at the training camp and you're like, oh, that guy looks like he maybe worked out. Like now you like know, like this guy skated 4 times this week. Like you know what he did in the gym. Like, and like you said about the anxiety, it makes you think a little bit. But like I still feel like I played, like you said, not too long ago. So the body's still getting through some playoff bumps and trying to give myself like a nice balance between like figuring it out.
Yeah, you got to think those things offset each other though, right? Like you play like the whole month of June. That means you don't have to train all of July. Like I feel like that should be known.
Like my physical stamina and my gym stamina might not be where the other fellas are, but my compete has got to be higher because I competed not too long ago. You know what I mean? That's my theory.
Yeah, 100%.
But I always find like the guys that skate right after the season, say you don't make the playoffs, and they're out there 2 weeks later, they're skating 3, 4, 5 days a week. You just played, you take off, maybe you start skating here in a week. I still think it always just evens out. Like once the puck drops at camp, does it really matter how much you skated? Like, are you really going to do all those 97 cutbacks and fancy turns that you learned with your coach in the summer with the iPad out? are you really going to implement that in your game, or is it when hockey starts and like the grind of it? Like maybe there's a couple things you can learn, but I just feel like at this age it's hard to really like implement different things that you learn in the summer, despite if you skate a ton or not. I mean, everyone's different, but I was having that conversation with someone the other day. I'm like, does it really matter? Like, can you actually add these things to your game? Or I don't know. What do you think, Wolly? Like, I think you can add some things, but some things are just, I don't know, man. Once the puck drops, it's free to react.
How many guys actually do what McDavid does, where like the PEP or whatever, he like actually does the Power Edge Pro stuff like against humans. Like,
right.
I'm not looking to pull that out very often. I'll do the deception stuff with the blue line and walk in the blue. You guys remember that like after college, but like I try not to do the head down like drill type stuff. I like the live action, but I mean, to each their own. You know how it goes. Some guys prefer different ways of training and whatever makes you feel good. As you said, like day one of camp, like how you feeling mentally is usually what it comes down to versus like all the stuff you do.
Yeah. I just find like, go ahead, Ozzo.
Yeah, no, I think in terms of hockey, Jordo, like your hands aren't going to become better over 3 months, like from you stick handling really hard over the summer. Like I just don't think like that's not what you're going to do. I think the main thing you can do in the summer is if you were fat last season, you can probably get into better shape over the summer months. Like I don't think you're becoming a better hockey player in 3 months. That has to be done throughout the entire season, watching film during your practice, working on shit during games. I think the only thing that can be done in the summer is like getting in insane shape and maybe getting a little bit faster, like adding a step if you were like somewhat slow or something. But in terms of like skating and stuff, I think that shit's solved during the year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think there's definitely things you like Wolly mentioned, like things you can add to your game. I honestly think a lot of times just slowing down sometimes too. I think for me that was a big thing, like reading, reacting, being more patient with the puck, maybe even a little bit more deception in terms of just like even baiting a guy in to come at me at the blue line and then make my fake versus just trying to go like 100 miles an hour around a tire and then do all these different cutbacks that maybe won't work. I just found it was funny. Sometimes I would be working with some coaches and especially just development, different things. Like you're going back and you're going back for a puck, say, and you like edge on one skate, edge on the other. It's like, what if you have a guy barreling down on you? It's like 2-2. He's just going to staple you through the glass. Like you're probably not going to do that, right? So I think everything's situational. I think there's things you can learn and add. I don't know. I'm just indifferent to, you see the guys that skate 5 days a week, 4 days a week from June 1st on. And then you got guys that, are still old school and they start, really ramping it up mid-August. So I was just curious. Where are you though, Wolly, right now? Are you in Hermosa Beach, fella?
I'm in Beverly Hills, which is not a bad life. Not a bad life. We're my lady's from Santa Barbara, lives in Beverly Hills for her job. So you know how it is with the women during the season; they sacrifice a lot. So I decided, I could sacrifice a bit and stay in Beverly Hills for the summer. But as you know, it's not much of a
you're a hell of a man. You're a hell of a man.
Yeah, I knew you were going to get me some.
Good for you. Yeah.
No, it's great. It's been like you said, it's like we get like a month and a half of summer, but it's been great.
Where are you training at right now? Then are you training at a gym near there, or have you not really done a ton yet, or where are you going to start doing that stuff?
Like I said, I've just slowly been easing back into things. I fortunately had I didn't play great when I was here with the King system, but I maintained enough relationships to be welcome back to the rink. So I just pretty much go where the Reign are at, and then El Segundo there at the Toyota Sports Performance Center, whatever it is, where the Kings and Reign practice. Mm-hmm. Great setup. Everybody's been pretty welcoming. It's pretty new staff, but everybody's been so welcoming. They just let me, walk around, and obviously we'll tip them out at the end of summer, but they've been super welcoming. So just starting to kind of get back into it with the guys here.
So like when you guys were playing throughout the stretch run in Abbotsford, obviously you get it done, but like in terms of what you thought it would be like, because winning a championship at any level is awesome. Winning a Calder Cup, I think, is the hardest trophy in sports to win just because the travel, you play the longest. It seems like it's the biggest grind. I mean, just even playoff series to playoff series. Like, in terms of, I think it's like 5 rounds now too in the jungle. It seems like they add a round every goddamn year. Maybe they add teams, who knows? But it's just, it seems like that trophy, for whatever reason, and every guy that's won it I've talked to is like, yes, that was a grind. But after you were done and you finally got it done, man, like how cool was that? Like it had to be pretty special, especially just being in the trenches with all those guys throughout the season. You had a really good team, obviously, but yeah, just take us through that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you sent me like the perfect text. You're like, hey, like I rag on it a lot, but like it's really cool, man. And then, like that's exactly how I felt. Like if you've played in the American League, you've played in the coast, you played in the minors, you know that there's certain aspects that just suck. Like it's not bad, it's just the reality. So, you know, we all make jokes about it, but when it came down to it, and like you said, we actually got the hoist, and as you said, we had a great team, and I was lucky to be a part of a lot of like, you know, sick moments with some sick players who hopefully go on to have sick NHL careers. But yeah, to actually get the job done and kind of see all the guys come out and, you know, all the injuries, all the stuff that happens in the national, like to actually do it in the minors, as you said, it did feel like a bit more of a grind. And the one thing I kind of said all year is like the reality of the Calder Cup is not many people grow up thinking, you know, or hoping to win the Calder Cup. So you kind of got to wrap your mind around that pretty early in playoffs. Like if you commit to it, you know, you got to commit to it. And once you get to a certain point, you're in July, you know, and you're like, we might as well win it at this point. So to actually be able to do it, like to actually, you know, like you know, it was a 1-goal game in the final, but like when that buzzer went off, like, it's like, holy, like it's actually over. Like corny.
Yeah.
It felt unreal. Like it was like, and you know, I've only done it twice in my life. Once, obviously, with you, Gage, and that was super special. And I was just riding coattails of some unbelievable players. But you know, the weirdest part about winning is like it doesn't feel nearly as good as losing hurts, if that makes sense.
I wanted to ask you that. Did you feel for those guys on the other side? You're like, damn, dude, like that's tough because it's July. You know, I mean, we're like, fuck that. You know what I mean? Because I would feel bad. I think, man, I would like shaking their hands and looking at their chin. I'd be like, fuck.
Matt Kierstead, former Sioux, great guy.
Yes.
Like an unbelievable guy. I went to his wedding last summer. Like he's a good friend of mine, and we shook hands in the handshake line, and he just said, he's like, it sucks. It had to be one of us, man. And I was like, you know what? Like, you couldn't have said it better. Like, if he was shaking my hand and he won, you know, it would have been the same way. Like a big hug. Like I didn't say much. It was more just like, you know.
Yeah.
Damn,
that's almost.
Man.
I wonder what's worse. What do you guys think's worse, losing the Calder or losing in the Cup finals? Like, obviously, you lose the Cup, you get that close. That's tough, but you're probably still seeing some like making the Cup final bonus, maybe some of that stuff. Whereas in the Calder, you lose like you didn't see shit, you know, like you just battled it out kind of for nothing.
Yeah, you don't even get a T-shirt after the Western Conference final or nothing. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, you really go home with not a whole lot. It was tough, especially like I said, like I had 2 good buddies on that team, 2 guys that I used to play with, and you know, you duke it out in the final, you hate them during the series, and then you got to shake their hand, and that's when it kind of sinks in. Like, but it was a great battle, and we played some really good teams. So,
man, I was talking to your teammate Phil there. He said he was pretty close with you throughout the season, Wolly, and he was actually having his day with the Cup. I think it was maybe today or maybe tomorrow. I think he gets it maybe tomorrow. But Ozzy, you got to hear about this. This is one thing I didn't know about the Calder Cup. Okay, so the Calder Cup doesn't have a keeper of the cup like Phil Picard, who is the keeper of the Stanley Cup. This fucking thing travels on its own. So you got to go pick it up at the airport. You got to put it on a Greyhound. You got to put it on a train, depending on where the Calder Cup is going. The Calder Cup is your responsibility to pick it up and then pass it on to the next guy. So apparently this thing was like lost outside of Sault Ste. Marie for like 2 days. And then it finally got found. So it backed everyone's day up with the Calder. And Phil's got to go pick this thing up from, I think, Manny Malhotra's house, and then he's got to put it on a bird like the next day because it's going somewhere in the States. So, Wolly, I wanted to ask you, have you heard about the travels of the Calder Cup through the group chat? And when is your day with it, bro? Because I thought this was amazing. It just travels on its own.
I didn't even know that we were getting I didn't even know that we were getting days with the Cup, man. That's the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, this thing So depending on where you are, you're going to have to go over to LAX or maybe it's going to come on the Amtrak. I don't know how it's getting delivered to you, but Yeah,
you know how the
maybe
fellas get
you
with their wallets to the minors. I don't know if anybody's going to ship it to LA. It's got to be too expensive. They're like, no, you got to split this. You got to split this with me.
Because you know you're not getting reimbursed for at least 6 months, right? Like PHPA, they're gonna try to, not see that one.
Yeah.
That is so funny though. I was like, wait, so you're going to pick it up from Manny Malhotra's house, which is in Okotoks, which is close to Toronto. Phil's like almost up by Barrie, and then he's got to drive it to the airport. I guess he was talking to the guy. He's like, hey, like, can I have it for a little bit longer? Maybe the following morning. He's like, it's got to be on a 10 a.m. flight. And Phil's like, well, I'm going to work out, man. Like, I can't just go to the airport. Like, that's going to ruin my whole day. I'm an hour and a half away. He's like, well, could you get it there by noon? He's like, well, maybe, maybe after my workout. So I didn't know that. Like, it's the hardest trophy. It's the toughest trophy in sports for so many different reasons than one. I just thought that was fascinating. And I would love a day with that thing. I would fucking. Also, I'd take that anyway.
Oh yeah,
that thing's like a cockroach. You can't kill it. You probably drop that thing and it actually gets shinier.
Oh yeah.
It really was cool, man. Like you said, like it's so easy to rag on it. There's so many points that that you can joke with the boys about, especially when you're going through the heat of the season to like actually hoist the Calder. I was pretty emotional, and even my dad, like he. The opposite of me, like 13-year NHL vet, strictly in the national, like, and he won the cup himself. And when I faced him on the ice after, and he was like pretty emotional. He's like, you know how cool this is, man. And I was like, you know what, like, all jokes aside, it's the coolest thing I've done. It really is. To this point, it's one of the coolest things I've ever done. So really special to be a part of that.
You had a nasty team, though. I mean, Sammy Blaze, Stanley Cup champion, Phil DiGiuseppe, 300 games, you sub 100 games, and then all these young players I was watching, Wally. Like, talk about some of these guys. I don't recognize a ton of their names, but I watched probably at least 2 of your games in the final on NHL Network. Some of these forwards, now again, I don't know their names, but these little right-handers you had, like a lot of National League players, I would say, for sure, that are coming up through the Vancouver system. No? Like, they look really good.
Yeah. I mean, well, for a couple reasons. Like, I think they're unbelievably skilled individuals. Like, I think we were like super dialed into our systems, which helped a lot. I think, too, with the West Coast, like a lot of guys get slept on out here. Like, some of the Kings prospects, some of the Vancouver prospects, like not many people stay up late to watch, especially in the minors.
Right.
I got to play a lot with Arshdeep Bains. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. He's a Vancouver boy, lefty, young, trains with like that Bedard group and that Kent Johnson, all those BC boys, like, unbelievable body control, unbelievable like sense and like skill and tenacity, like so fun to watch. Max Sasson, Michigan boy, like gotta shout him out. They got that Lecker Amaki who can rip the pill, right shot Swede. Like they, it's easy for me to hype them up. They just help me win a championship and like you get to a certain point in your career where you start to root for the young guys. As corny as that might sound, like it's the reality. Like you kind of see the doors start to close on your own stuff, so you start to try and cheer for guys. And if I'm running the power play, I might try and help a power play forward. Not that I'm the know-it-all, but like try and lead them in the right direction. And there's so many guys that just almost made my job easier. And you're like, okay, like that guy knows what he's doing, and you can only hope that their window kind of opens because making the national isn't necessarily always about how nasty you are. Sometimes it's opportunity and finding the right little pocket.
100%. It's interesting you mentioned that, Wolly, because like there does become a time where you're like, fuck, should I like give this guy the wrong advice so I got a better chance, or should I help him out? Because some of the older guys helped me out when I was coming up. That's got to be a tough decision to make. I mean, when was that this year where you're kind of like, I'm gonna kind of show the young guys the ropes, or was that a couple years ago?
I mean, like this is tough to say without sounding like, again, I use the word corny, but like, I don't think you can root against guys, like I think it's bad karma. I think like when I was young in my career, you wanted to get the call up, and I found that if I was like hoping like that somebody else did poorly, I played worse versus like just like staying in my lane, like playing good hockey. And then like, if it's a lefty that gets called up, like good for you, man. I'm happy for you. Like, go enjoy it. Like, again, it's tough not to say that without sounding goofy, but like, that's actually how I kind of approached it. Like, earlier in my career, I shouldn't say right away, but earlier in my career. And then now it's just, it's kind of instilled in me, like, just to like hope for the best, you know, for these young guys. But at the same time, like, I'm not closing the door on myself. Like, I don't have a job right now. Like, it's been a tough summer for a lot of free agents, but like 30 years old, I know that it's not likely, but you know, in the right situation, I play good hockey in the minors. Some things happen in the national. You never know if you're going to get the look again. But honestly, I try not to think about it anymore. I just kind of try and win hockey games when I'm there and be a good teammate and have a good time and hope that things kind of work out, you know.
And Wolly, don't you think it's so valuable when you win when you're young? Like when you win when you're on an entry level, especially in the American League, I just think you always see those guys. I look at the old teams in Grand Rapids I used to play against, or, you know, even the teams in Syracuse with John Cooper, or the Chicago Wolves, even after I left with Ryan Warsofsky and some of those teams, Texas, the Stars. Like, I just think you always see a lot of those players advance, and it's not because they're just really skilled hockey players. It's because they know how to win and they know what it takes to be a good team. I just think those lessons you learn, and especially I wish I would have recognized that earlier, at least from my career, because I got to that point of the season, and I won't lie, like I'm sitting there in April or May, and we had a pretty good, you know, team in Chicago with the Wolves. I'd be like, fuck, just get me home. But I wish I would have had the mentality like, let's fucking try to win, because I just think that's so valuable. And you always see guys get jobs, whether they're the young players advancing and gaining the ranks of the parent team, or even a guy like Sammy Blaze, who is a little bit older, similar to you, Wolly, where he got a one-way in the NHL because he proved himself. Stefan Noesen went down from Chicago that one year where he scored like 48 goals. The following year, he's up in Carolina after he wins. So I just think there's so much value to win in the AHL no matter how old you are. But I think, you know, as a younger player, that's like just invaluable, man.
Yeah, I think, specifically about the young guys. Like, it's funny because I was saying that all year. Like, I don't know shit, but I know enough. Like, I've been around long enough in the minors to like know like that helps. As you said, like I've watched enough hockey to see like enough prospects. Like, who is that guy? Like, oh, he won in Hershey. Like, he just, you know, he's been up for the last year since he won in Hershey. Never heard of him, but like that, you know, that propelled him to that. And I was telling the boys all year, like, boys, if we win, it's good. Like, if you've got a contract, like if you're a prospect, it doesn't matter. It's good. And then like we win, and like all these young guys a day later sign like pretty good deals. One ways. And then a couple of the older guys, no job, like myself, calling me like, what the fuck, bro? You said if we win, like, you said if we win, we'd have jobs. I'm like, dude, I swear, I got nothing either. Like, so it's, but yeah, it's, you know, as I said, it'd be great for these young prospects to like kind of take this and run with it, and not that the older guys would take credit, but it kind of makes it feel like, you know, like at least they got to do it kind of thing, or at least they got a shot because of it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, no doubt. I just think like it's, like I said, it's invaluable. I think it's good for those guys. So, Wolly, for you, 30, still can skate like the wind, still can run a power play in your sleep. Like, you don't want to go overseas yet, right? You want to keep playing in the A, get your chance, because, I mean, man, like you said, you never know what's going to happen. You look even at a guy like Alex Petrovic this year. He's in a different role than you, but, I mean, grinding it out in the minors, 33 years old, plays all the games in the playoffs for the Stars. There's always those little pockets you can find, and if you catch lightning in a bottle, you're available to play. And you're one of those guys that's obviously very experienced at both levels. You've won now in the American League, and you're a good pro. So is it something you would ideally like to stay over here on this side of the pond?
For sure. No disrespect to Europe. Like, you know, I always, you know, I follow you guys both, and I read your tweets, and I see your league rankings. Like, I know there's some great leagues over there, like, no doubt. But as you said, like, just in my heart, holding on to that last little chance. You never know what can happen. Like, I'm at 86 games. If I could get to 100, you never know. I might view it differently 10 years from now, 15 years from now. Who knows? Or I might not. I might not even think about hockey after hockey. So who knows where it's going to go. But in my heart, I just, after winning in the minors, you know, in the most humble way possible, I feel like I've done a lot in the minors. Like, you know, D-Man of the year, fortunate enough to win a championship. Like, in my heart, in my mind, I proved it. Well, I get the chance, who knows, but I might as well give it one more look. And if not, you know, there's a pretty good living to be made overseas, and for however much longer I get to play hockey, I might as well keep it alive.
Yeah, that's the worst part about being in your position right now. And I always thought, as a hockey player who's not on a big ticket deal, is like this limbo period where, you know, you don't have a job, but you know you're going to get something. You just don't know where, and you got to wait it out. It's the worst. Like, part of what I do right now, William, I'm sitting here like I know what I'm doing tomorrow and the next day and the next day, and it's like it's kind of nice, I don't have to wonder about it. Like you gotta just stay cool, wait it out. Someone's gonna come calling, something's gonna pop up, and you just gotta be ready for your chance.
But there's a lot to be said about that side of life too, Gage. Like you had a sick career, and like then when you get settled and you find your wife, congratulations, by the way. I'm the worst friend for not going to the wedding, but you find your second wave of life, and like there's more clarity in your day to day. And I have a good buddy, Mason Yops, played at Ohio State. I don't know, he's looking for a job right now too, and he's like, oh man, like I might just start a business. And it's crazy to kind of start to slowly flip your mind to like the other side of it, but obviously it's going to come sooner than later, so not much to run from.
Have you thought about it yet? Do you think about that stuff? Like I always wonder if players should think about that while they're playing, or if they should be locked into playing the game. It's always a tough, like when people ask me like, you think I should start thinking about or doing something else? And I'm like, I think it's probably a good idea, but then you don't want to sell yourself short on the ice either.
It's worth thinking about, but I don't think about it, if you know what I mean. Like I'll run some thoughts, and I might like one day, like when I'm goofing around, be like, oh, I got a good idea, but like I'm not going to run with it. I'm just going to keep trying to be a hockey player. And as you guys keep saying, like we ended not too long ago. So like my mind's still pretty wrapped around hockey right now.
Man, I think like even for me, I think the second you start having other thoughts like that, I think you're cooked. Like I think your head's out of it, and it's time to move on. And like you know what I mean? Because when you're chasing something like Wolly, you're chasing something as a player. You're always chasing something as a hockey player, whether it's the next contract, a championship, a call up. Like that should be your singular focus. And you shouldn't give yourself a plan B. Like, man, this shit better work out, or I better come close to this. Otherwise, my goals and my intentions aren't set on the site. So I think you got a good mindset there, Wolly. Just keep plugging along. Something's going to come here, fella. You'll be all right. Getting that jersey flapping in the wind. But I want to segue a little bit. Let's get off the hockey. All right, you were in the chin of San Francisco, the Bay Area, I believe, this past weekend, going to see Morgan Wallen, who I saw earlier in the year over at Camp Randall Stadium when he walked out with Brett Perk Favre. And I just, went a little 6 to midnight downstairs. But, dude, his walkout, I think you went last night, right?
Yeah, I did, in San Francisco.
So you saw Kittle shotgun the beer.
Kittle and Trent Williams. Like, dude, like,
oh, so
first
sick.
off, I've seen him 3 times. The first time I ever saw him, I wasn't even a country guy. You guys know me, Detroit boy. Like, I like to rock with the rap music and the culture. And first time I ever went, I was like, dude, this guy's a rock star. It was him and Hardy. That guy also is a rock star as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and then yesterday I'm like sitting there watching this walkout, and I'm getting chills. Like I don't even know what I'm watching, but like it's unbelievable the fame this guy has, and like the showmanship and walking out with those 2 studs, like the double shotgun from Kittle. It was unbelievable. Like goosebumps. Like it's crazy to say that about a concert, but like legitimate goosebumps. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I always remembered you as you were on that future vibe, and so I like that you're segueing into some country. Did you see Wallen's reaction though? So Kittle guns one beer, like he looks over at him, he looks at Trent Williams, he's kind of like laughing. Then Kittle pulls out the double pistol, and he's like, "Dude, are you gonna do another one?" And he's just like, "What the fuck?" That was pretty sick. I watched that just on IG a few times. I was like, "Damn, that was pretty nails."
Yeah, I was pre-scouting before I went and just looking at all the walkouts and trying to think of who we might bring out. I missed Barry Bonds. I can't believe I didn't think about that.
Barry Bonds and Steve Young.
That's another great duo. Like he hasn't really had one bad duo. Like it. And I was wondering, like, does he make a call? His manager, obviously, somebody makes a call, and they're like, nobody's saying no to that. You're crazy to say no to that. Like you're.
No, watch the other guys. You watch the other guys walking out with them, and they're fucking pumped. Like Barry and Steve Young, you can see them like they're jacked. They're more jacked up than Morgan is. They're like, let's go. This is unreal.
Yeah.
So do you think Nikki were talking about this? Do you think he has the manager reach out, or his whatever gal or dude to the people, like say it's Morgan Wallen's reaching out to Brett Favre or Barry Bonds? Do you think he like flies them out and puts them up, or these people are just like, we'll pounce on that opportunity and we'll just get ourselves there? And you know what I mean? Do you think he puts them? Do you think he's classy enough to like put them up in a hotel for the night, fly him out?
That's a great question. I didn't even think about that aspect.
I bet he does.
I bet he does, right?
100%.
Yeah,
No skin off his back for that.
no,
But
I mean,
like,
he's making
it's an opportunity. Like, like they're all fired up. They're all probably more excited than he is. And I'm thinking about like, I'd imagine they're walking from maybe his bus into the arena so they can hear the buzz from outside of the arena. Like, that's got to be one of the coolest. Like arguably better than coming out for a game for those two guys because that's their stadium. You know.
Oh yeah, 100%. That'd be so.
The David Spade Joe Dirt one too in Phoenix. I missed it because I was just back in the Midwest. Was unbelievable. He was like hiding behind, I don't know, it's like a trash bag or something, and he pops out with like the janitor clothes on, and it's Joe Dirt and it's Spade. I'm like, that one was pretty sick. The Peyton Manning in full gear in Tennessee was unbelievable too. I mean, when he did that show in Knoxville, his hometown, and Peyton Manning came out with the full Tennessee gear, that was nails. There's been some good ones, man. I think that's one of the coolest things going right now in sport or just music is walking out. Like, imagine just walking out to your show like that. Fuck.
Like he got that from sport, but he brought, the walkout to music and he kind of perfected it with the way he ties it back into sport. And it's easy for guys like us to like obviously like his music because he's, essentially
it's like a UFC.
One of us with a lot of talent. It feels
like a UFC walkout. It's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. It's nails. And that stadium is huge, dude. Like Levi Stadium. Was it did it sound good? Were the acoustics hitting? And he was rocking?
I don't know enough about yeah, he sounded good to me. Like, I had a great time. Like, I wasn't like sitting there like thinking like, God, he sounds like shit. Like, I was just thinking like, this is a show. Like, I like to look around at concerts, look at the lights, look at how packed it is, look at how like people are enjoying it. You got every demo, especially a place like San Francisco. You got every demographic possible in that building. Like, merch lines are sold out. Like, it's a spectacle, and it was a great time. Third time seeing him, I'd go again for sure.
Yeah, it's that tour is, I think it's 19 shows, 13 cities, and he himself is clearing like 60 million from it. So not bad. It's like a 2-month tour. I think it's grossing over 300 million. So Wallen's doing all right. Cut the check, fella.
That ain't bad.
No, that'll work. That'll keep the lights on, eh? Fuck, not bad. We'll keep the lights on.
That type of money, that means you can throw chairs off of 4th stories just out in the street, and just no one can do anything. Yeah,
that's the part I laugh at. Like, part of his concert, I'm sure you remember this, Swish, but like, he's got this like, it might have been "I'm the Problem" song, but like, he's got this like this slideshow or whatever going of like all of his like tabloids, and like, he's kind of moping up there like he's got the world against him. I'm like, you have no problems, man. Like, you're doing more than fine.
No,
like,
I mean
he's so bad.
He called his white buddy the N-word. He gets more popular. Then he throws a chair off a 3rd level honky tonk in Nashville, and somehow he's loved even more. I was like, this guy, like, he's full on rock star. I don't know if he's really drinking anymore though. I would like to know that. I think he's kind of cleaned up his act. I think he's a pro now. I don't think he's saucing as much, but who knows?
Probably smart.
Yeah.
A lot of his songs are about like his ex-girlfriend, right? Like, do you think this girl exists? Do you think this girl exists? Do you think a guy like Morgan Wallen's actually caught up on an ex-girlfriend? Like, is that even possible as a guy? You think he's like still thinking about her a little bit?
I'm thinking it's not one. You know what I mean? It's got to be a group that he just thinks about.
Yeah. The side pieces. Shed the tear. He's like, fuck yeah. I maybe should have committed to her long term, but he has a kid, man. So maybe that's it. Yeah,
he did. Yeah, he did a nice little that Superman song. He kind of said like, this one's for my little boy before he sung it. And pretty good song. Like, so he's a performer. He's a performer.
Right.
He's like, what was it? It's Swift, Taylor Swift, Wallen, and Drake right now, like in the music world.
Yeah, probably.
Also, too, he comes out to Drake. Like, before he does his walkout, he was What Did I Miss? That new song that Drake dropped a couple weeks ago. He's jamming it, banging it, the full song, like the last song before he came, or actually he did a little Ozzy Osbourne, rest in peace, right before he came out. But like, those are the 2 songs, and then it was him for the rest of the night. I'm like, name another country guy that could get away with playing Drake for a full 3 minutes, and people were dancing and jamming. I was like, all right, like,
Yeah, he's got a little bit of everyone there.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, and he's got some crossover with Dirk too. Like he's got, and young. I don't know, not Young Thug, but who's the other guy? He's Moneybagg Yo. He's got some crossover with.
That's right.
So he's in every lane, man. He's doing his thing, and it seems like those guys actually fuck with him too, which is pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, because it's one thing to be on a record with a rapper or whatever. But it seems like he's actually, these guys are like, yeah, this guy's cool, which is
versus like just
if you get the respect from the hood, man. Yeah,
that's all you need.
That's all you need, man. That's all you need. God, you know that being from the dirty, baby. Come on.
Yeah, man. It's not easy, but it's all you need. Exactly.
Still trying to get it.
That's why they moved me to LA this summer. I'm trying anything I can get, man.
Yeah. So are you going to get back to Michigan at all, fella? Are you in LA all summer, or what's good?
I'll go back. I'm going to try and it doesn't feel like I've had that time to sink in and be like, okay, summer's here. We went to Hawaii right after the season. That was unbelievable. We were there for 10 days right before that tsunami and hurricane stuff. That would have been wild.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't it's like I said, it's right in between summer and get ready for next season. Somebody said to me or I saw somewhere 6 weeks until camp, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, that's a turnaround there. But so yeah, I'll get back to Detroit. I have to see my family. I got to see my loved ones and play a couple rounds of golf and just feel like I'm at home for a little bit. But for now, I'll probably take another couple weeks in LA and just relax.
Yeah. No, that's good.
What
and then
what about Cameron?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what about young Stung?
So our best buddy, actually, I had some butter golf hats made for it. I think you've maybe heard this too, Gage. Our best buddy, Cameron and I's best buddy, he gets he calls it the annual, and it's a golf trip where he flies us on a PJ to, usually he picks it, a year or two in advance, and we go play some unbelievable course. It's always been in the States so far, but go play some unbelievable course or some nice stretch of courses in a nice spot. We're actually going to Wisconsin this year, Erin Hills. So unfortunately life moves pretty quickly when you get older. So Cameron and I see each other once a year, especially with him being a dad now, but we'll be on the annual together this year, golfing in Erin Hills. So it'll be nice to see him. And like I said, life moves too fast now, so I don't get to talk to him or hear from him as much.
You're the champion this year. Cameron's the loser this year. That's a change.
I told him I watched those Coast games in the playoffs, actively rooting for the Everblades or whatever. To win that much in any league is unbelievable. And I obviously he's a goof, and he'll joke with you if you tell him, but I'm like, dude, I don't know if you realize how amazing this actually is, Cam. Yeah, I'm the king of the coast. I'm like, no, but seriously, take a step back and realize this is amazing at any level. He's a Coast Hall of Famer. So, but yeah, somebody had to hoist in order to go on the golf trip. So as long as one of us brings something home, we're good.
Yeah, man. He that guy, dude. Speaking of a guy that he wouldn't even have to skate ever in the summer. He'd just show up, and because his confidence is that confidence, Wolly, that he has. That's everyone could use a slice of that.
It's unbelievable. It's the best balance in the world, man. He's so aloof, and everybody loves him off the sheet, and then on the sheet, he's this cocky prick, and you're keep make you remember, Gage, when we won the Natty, it was keep making those saves, man. Say whatever you want to say, do whatever you got to do, just keep stopping the puck. And
he's got confidence. You wish you could bottle it up. If you could bottle his confidence up and sell it, you'd be richer than Elon Musk. I mean, it'd be a killer.
Dude, I remember the few games he played his freshman year, and I was a junior, so it was the only year I got with him. But I remember the few games he played, even in an exhibition game, he made up a breakaway save, and then you get back to him and you're kind of apologizing as a D-man. Maybe you made a mistake in the far end, and he's trying to have a full-on conversation with you as the puck's in his mitt. He's all good, Schmaltzy, all good. Dude, what are you, he's just having a conversation with you. It's bro, we're mid-game right now. So that's just who he is, and that's why we love him. But when is that trip, Wolly? When are you guys going?
What are we? End of August here. A couple weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fired up. It's how the Midwest is. It's so nice, especially with a good group of guys, playing a nice course, having a couple beers,
whatever you get to Wisconsin too, baby.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. I'm fired up. The only sad part about that is when it's in Wisconsin, we've done Northern Michigan. When we're going from Michigan, selfishly, I don't get to ride on PJs a whole lot. So you kind of want it to be in Oregon, it was 1 year.
Yeah.
You're you want to stay on the PJ for a little longer. So, but yeah, Wisconsin's unbelievable. I think I'm not just saying this because I'm with you, but I think it's an underrated, the Midwest as a whole. So anytime I get to spend time there, I'm fired up. So.
you're looking at, fella, can we get a track in Alaska here? I heard about this. They got a nice ranch up there. We can go play. They got a couple good courses. We go up to Alaska. Make them just soak a 12-hour bird. That would be great.
Yeah. Gotta stop for fuel a couple times.
Yeah.
We're
stopping in Victoria we're stopping in Vancouver for a night, fellas. We're gonna stay at the Fairmont here and just regroup, pack rim.
Switch. The boys were dying when I think it was mid Charlotte series, or maybe it was before the series when you tweeted their travel plans. Dude, I know you don't like to talk about your own tweets, but dude, we were laughing so hard. Our whole team was laughing at it. Like, guys were coming up, like, look at this guy. Like, dude.
What did you say again?
I was just talking.
But it was so.
Yeah,
funny,
it was long, but I was basically talking about they're taking planes, trains, and automobiles to get there. It's like they're going to get there in 2 weeks because they got to take the Amtrak through Bismarck via, I don't even know, Shreveport or South Bend, Indiana into Chattanooga, and then they're going to drive personally the last 4 hours. I don't even know. It was a long tweet, but I do remember that. It's always funny, too, when you throw out a tweet like that, because the people that don't follow you don't assume that they're going to see a tweet. And then all of a sudden it's like a guy in the league or someone, they're like mentioning that tweet or whatever. Like I was just in Toronto working out with some of the guys. I'm going to name drop here because that's what I do. But I saw like Sagan from a distance and he came up to me. He's just like, Peoples? I'm like, oh, what's up, fella? How you doing? I've never met him before, but it's just crazy. The internet's a crazy place is what I'm trying to say, is because when you send out a tweet and say it gets, X amount of views, you're like, you have no idea who sees that. And I love when the boys see it. So Wolly, when you sent that to me, you're like, this fucking shit. We had us all crying in the locker room. Like, all right, at least it's, giving someone a laugh.
It's funny too, because you guys know it. Like, Gage, you remember like when I gotta watch what I say here. I don't have a job, but like when the political tensions were hot, like I would text you sometimes like, I like that tweet. Like I'm not gonna like it or retweet it, but I'd be like, like good for you for sticking up for what you feel, whether I feel it or not. Like good for you for. And same way with you, Squish. Like I'll see a funny tweet and one of the boys would be like, dude, like this is a hilarious tweet. And like I don't want to blow your phone up every time, but oftentimes like both you guys, your other coworker and Gucci, like the boys are dying on a lot of those, and it's I feel like a popular friend when I'm like, funny dude or whatever.
Yeah,
but it's funny. It happens more often than you would imagine. So obviously it's good to be heard.
Yeah, sometimes you forget.
No way.
Especially Jordo's tweets. Sometimes you forget how many people are going to see what you're sending out. Like when I send out a tweet, I'm like, like 20 people are going to see this. Like that's what's in my mind. And then you run into people who like you've never met and they saw your tweet, and then you're like, Jesus. Fuck, I kind of feel like an asshole. But then you're like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares?
Well, that's what makes you good at it, Gage. Is like I know, like if I see you beefing with some random guy on Twitter, some guy from Crookston, I'm like, if Gage saw him in person, he wouldn't back down. That's what makes it okay to me. It'd be different if you're a warrior, but to actually stand on business if you had to, I believe in you. So
100%.
Yeah,
I appreciate
the difference. That's because that's where it gets lost these days. Is so many people will say so many things they wouldn't do, in person.
Oh yeah.
Like even being a player, like some of the tweets you get. Like I turned one over in playoffs, overtime loss, and this guy tweeted. He didn't even tweet anything mean. It was something like "Woof, Wolly," and I got so pissed. I was like, like you don't get to tell me that was a bad play, even though it was an overtime turnover. We lost the game. I'm not stupid, but I'm like, God, it still gets me so hard. Yeah,
fuck you, buddy. Yeah.
When we won, it was the first guy I wanted to go tweet at, like, woof, buddy. Like, always.
Yeah.
That's just the thing, and I mean, more than half the time they're coming on a burner account. So these people, you don't have to own up to anything you say because you're just hiding behind a keyboard, behind a burner account. So there's no way to trace back who's actually saying it. That's always the funniest part. It's like these people, you don't even have to back up anything you say. I feel like people just get mad in real life and then they go online and they just take it out on different people, and that's their sort of release. Like that makes them feel good. So I always find it funny. I mean, that's show business, baby. You got to be able to take it on the chin from just some dude with 14 followers hiding behind some, avatar. It is what it is.
It's funny. It still gets on you though. It's still like eats away at you a little bit. Like you'll click into his profile, Jordo. He's chirping you. You click into his profile. He's got 20 followers, and you're still like, "Fuck this guy, man."
Yeah,
you don't even. You're just like, "Fuck this guy."
Well, I texted you about some dipshit the other day who actually wasn't even a burner. I'm like, who is this guy? Because he comments try hard on all of my tweets. I'm like, fella, what do you mean? This is a hockey show. Like, what do you mean? I'm trying to be funny. And a lot of people think it is funny. So I'm going to keep fucking going. But it's like, I'm like, who is, after the sixth time I saw it, because I saw that he followed Oz, I'm like, is this guy like commenting on your shit? It's just funny. Most days it doesn't bother you. Then all of a sudden something just, no. That's how it goes. But that's funny.
Perfect storm.
Wolly, are you going to be heading up to Grand Forks at all for the pro camp? I know Jax was trying to ring in some guys there. Matt Green actually going up there and going to coach for a few days. I'm not going to be able to make it, but I saw Jax a couple of weeks ago. I know he was trying to put together a roster. It's just for you, I bet it's tough, especially with that golf and then just getting done. But I was just curious if you're getting up to the chin of Forks.
I think that golf overrides with it, and I call Jax. I usually like to call like a lot of my old coaches or teammates that like kind of had an impact, and you guys know like Jax, like he's the ultimate Sioux warrior, one of the best coaches ever, and he's obviously one of those guys I called. So I called at the end of the season just to let him know like I probably wouldn't make it. Such a quick turnaround,
right?
Body is banged up. But I do got to get back to Forks. Like it's, it doesn't feel like it was forever ago, but it's been a long time since I've been there. And, like again, to bring LA back up, like I was here for a bit, year and a half, this organization, Greener, like unbelievable guy, unbelievable, like Sioux alumni in terms of like taking, former players under his wing and just being a good guy to him. So I'm not going to make it this year, but it's definitely long overdue.
Yeah, for sure.
Also,
you're the Forks too. What are you gonna say? Sorry.
Since we're on the topic, those jerseys are heat. I think. I don't know if you guys already talked about that on the show. I personally love them. I don't know what the fans are saying. I didn't read a lot of the tweets, but I think they're sick. That's a good tone setter. Change things.
It is.
It really is.
Man, that old jersey was. I think that was my freshman year. I came in with those were so brutes, low key. Brutal. Those jerseys. You got me.
Worst in history.
Those jerseys were so bad, dude. It was like just that empty space in the middle of the jersey for no reason. Like they were just trying to almost envision a Sioux head still being there. It was those jerseys were brutes. I think these new ones are clean, man. Those are nice. Those are juicy. Yeah. I think it's just gonna be it's like a fresh start. I like it.
Was that you, Gage? Was that you that Gage that tweeted like pretty like about your awareness or like you're aware that you wore the worst jersey in Sioux history or whatever? Like my time was the
it sucks. It sucks. Like I had a realization. I was like looking through the jerseys and I was thinking, all of us actually we played in the time with the worst jerseys that the school ever put out, like in history. We wore the worst jerseys in school history. It sucks, man. It's tough because they had a bunch of good jerseys. I think we wore shit jerseys. I'm just gonna come out and say it.
It's almost like they didn't even try with those jerseys, though, did they, boys?
No.
Well, I think their hands were tied at the time. Probably they had to get something on paper pretty quickly.
Yeah.
It was almost just like a slapdick. Like, I mean, what could they do, really? But even if they just would have put UND across it, it would have been juicier.
I agree with that.
That might actually be
right. Do they have?
I don't know, but
I'm not like obviously like the boys like to call it Sioux, and I'm not like a big like when I was there and like the Hawk Sioux stuff was happening, and the Fighting Hawks were kind of coming onto the scene full time. Like I was definitely one of those guys that was still saying Sioux just to like keep the tradition. I don't still follow enough or closely to people still like are they still chanting Sioux? Is it still? Or is the Hawk kind of taken over and did they incorporate it into the new jerseys? I didn't even notice enough. I kind of looked at just the front of them.
The Hawk really is not. I know that the team still doesn't really recognize the Hawk as the logo / mascot. I know the team still keeps the Sioux name alive, but it's still alive in the ranks. I mean, I would say more so Wolly on the road. Because you got the like older fans there who are like Sioux fans that are traveling and going to the road games, that's when people are really screaming Sioux Lake at the national anthem. And, A Sioux, 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 yeah, happening more on the road, I'd say. But it still does happen at home. I mean, that if they would have released a somewhat decent, cool Hawk logo, it wouldn't have been as bad. But they got the worst Hawk logo ever created. So it's like, we ain't using this shit.
Yeah, I agree with you. Another thing, you kind of brought it up in my mind with the road thing. One of the coolest things, like I'm super prideful. Like I'm the first guy in my family to my dad was an OHL guy, so like he's even like a Sioux fan, like follows the game, like the team still. I'm super proud of it. But one of the coolest things is name a league, name a team. I see so many Sioux jerseys on the road in the minors. Like I see them everywhere we go. Henderson, Sioux jerseys, Tucson, Sioux jerseys, Colorado, Sioux jerseys. Like almost every game, it feels like there's a Sioux jersey in the stands. And like they'll come on the glass, whether they're looking at me or not. Like I give them a tap or I give them a puck. I'm like, what a beauty. Like, and sometimes they know like that I played, or sometimes they're like, why'd that guy give me a puck? But like many jerseys, man. It's unbelievable.
I mean, Wolly, I think in every rink, everywhere, there's always a Sioux jersey. I'm truly convinced. I was playing in a game in Lappeenranta, Finland, which is on the Russian border, town of about 13,000 people, an absolute shithole. And what do I notice in warmups? Was a Sioux jersey right on the glass. The guy comes up to me. I give him the same thing. I always give him a little tap. And I'm in Lappeenranta, Finland, again, which is 40 minutes from the Russian border. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, the reach of this program is insane. I've talked to guys that have played in the middle of Siberia and Russia, and they've seen Sioux jerseys. So that's like it has to be that jersey. I think it might be, I want to speak to, I don't want to overstep it, but I think it might be at least a top 3 most influential jersey in hockey. I really think it is, man. I don't know. It seems that way. It's not going to rival, I don't think, Montreal or Toronto, but I think it's at least top 10. It's top 10, I think.
We're certainly going to be biased, but I'm gonna side with you on that. I think, like you said, like the amount of times you see, and again, like the original 6, and there's some like the Blackhawks, of course. Like there's some jerseys out there, and specifically in like the party community, there's so many guys that wear, the Blackhawk jerseys to darties and whatever. But the Sioux jersey, if you see it, you remember it, and like you said, like to see it in a small town like Finland like that, that's an unbelievable story.
Yeah, I wonder how many of those people, like how many of those jerseys you see are just people buying it because it's actually just a nasty jersey. There's got to be a bunch of people that bought it back in the day. They're just like, I don't know what the fuck North Dakota the Sioux are, but this is a nasty jersey. I'm buying it. It had been quite bad.
I think so. I also think maybe your favorite player played there, and now you're doing a little research on Jonathan Toews. You're doing a little research on Zach Parise or TJ Oshie or many of the hundreds of NHL players that have come through the program. I think it's probably a little bit of both, Azo. I really do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I don't know. But fuck. I mean, Trump's trying to bring back the Indians logo that I'm wearing. He's trying to bring back the Redskins. Can he throw the Sioux a bone over here? Can you get the boys back? Come on, 45 and 47. You're doing everything you can to avoid those Epstein files, so throw us a bone.
What do we call him? What do we call him? 45? Do you call him 45 or 47?
I call him both, 45 and 47. He's both.
You can't leave one out.
Yeah, I don't think you can leave one out.
Two-time.
And there's a split in there too, so that's pretty cool. But Azo, that's all I got for Wolly. I don't want to keep him all night here. We appreciate his chin coming on, talking Calder Cup, talking UND hockey, talking everything in between. So unless you're good or you got any more, I think that's a wrap.
I'm good. It's always good talking to Wolly.
Yeah, you guys were the best, man. Thanks for having me. Thanks. It was nice to shoot it, even if you don't even post this. It was nice to chat with you guys and catch up. And like I said, I got to come back Midwest. So if I'm ever in the area, Wisco or obviously Forks or Mini, I'll be sure to let you guys know.
100%, man. Thanks for coming on. I know we once you won, we were exchanging messages. We wanted to tee it up and get you on. So we're proud of you, brother, over here at Live in 5. Again, hardest trophy in sports to win. I do mean that when I say that, and I tell everyone that wants to hear it, that it is the AHL Calder Cup is the hardest trophy in sports. So, Wolly, good on you, man. We'll chat soon, fella. Keep going and enjoy Beverly Hills, man. Not bad.
Yeah, I will.
Slide over to Santa Monica, get that sun on you, a little UV, fella. So,
yeah, life's pretty good down here. But great to chat with you guys. Thank you, and always a pleasure to catch up.
Awesome.
Yeah, you too, champ.
Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for that.